Hey, how's it going? Welcome back to my channel. I'm Ebel. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and join me today for this meal prep where I'm going to be focusing on getting back on track with McDougall's Maximum Weight Loss. So today is the day after Thanksgiving and I've literally spent like the last 7 or 8 days basically eating nothing but Thanksgiving food. I did try to stick to 50-50 plates when I was at home, which I mostly was, and so I don't feel like I got super off track, but I still have a lot of Thanksgiving leftovers. So today I really want to focus this meal prep on my non-starchy vegetables. So I did come up with some awesome Thanksgiving recipes last week and I'll put a link in the description box if you want to check any of those out. So let me show you what I have left over from last week and then let me tell you what my plan is today for meal prep. So my #1 meal prep tip is to date everything. Whenever I put something in a Tupperware in my fridge, I put a date on it so that I know what needs eaten, I know how much stuff I have, and it just really helps me stay on track with meal prep too. So I have 2 of these 4-cup Pyrex containers that have mashed potatoes, gravy, stuffing, and corn in them. And I actually have 1 more in the fridge that just has like less than half full. I usually eat about half of one of these for a meal with the other half of my plate non-starchy veg. Or that's how it was going the last week. So these are 4 days old today, so I want to try to get this stuff eaten up between today and tomorrow. And then I have these steamed potatoes I just made fresh yesterday. I'm questioning if I want to leave these as potatoes or if I want to put this into the batch of potato cheese I'm going to make today. I think I'm going to do that. I'll let you know in a minute. So I am going to make up a fresh batch of potato cheese today because I want to make queso, because that's something I really like with my non-starchy veg, and I think it's a really easy way to make a 50-50 plate. But first I have to use up all this potato cheese that I made last week. This stuff is also 4 days old today, so I'm actually going to take this potato cheese and make this into my cheesy hash brown casserole. So I'm going to make that cheesy hash brown casserole and a fresh batch of potato cheese to turn into queso. And then the rest of my meal prep is mostly going to be focused on non-starchy vegetables. The only other thing that's a little bit starchy is my oil-free chickpea of the sea sandwich filling. And I mentioned storing celery like this in one of my Thanksgiving videos. I think it was my stuffing video. But this celery will have been in this water 4 weeks tomorrow. And there's one piece that's looking a little questionable, but everything else looks really fresh. I'll just have to chop off a few of the ends, but this is such an efficient way to store your celery and not waste it. So I'll definitely use this up today in my chickpea of the sea. I also started storing my baby cut carrots like this as well. I don't fill the whole thing up with water, but just put some water in there so that they don't get that dry white crustiness, you know. These are just from this week, but I'm still going to use those up in my potato cheese today. And I bought this asparagus last week and never got around to eating it. Same concept, I put the ends in the jar of water like that. I didn't put a date on this. Fail. So that either needs to get eaten up really soon or get put in the stir fry I'm going to make today. And still a lot of broccoli from last week, but I eat a lot of broccoli. I actually bought more today. Some of that will go in my stir fry. So while everyone else was out looking for Black Friday deals today, I went vegetable shopping. And I went to Aldi and Kroger, and my plan is to make a really big stir fry and then to also have leftover vegetables to be able to make some salads. I feel like I've been eating kind of heavier with the, stuffing mashed potato sort of meals of the last week, and I thought a salad sounded really good, and I thought my chickpea of the sea sounded really good. So let me show you what I got for vegetables. I think this is the biggest bunch of kale I've ever bought in my life. 99 cents for all that kale. I got more asparagus because it was on sale and I love it. I got more celery because I knew I would be using up everything I had today. More broccoli like I mentioned. More baby carrots because I always like to have extras of these on hand. Peppers for the stir fry and the salad. Baby cucumbers for salad, and these are also really good with my chickpea of the sea. One time over the summer I sliced these up into little circles and then used like the chickpea of the sea as like dip and those as like the chip. Oh, it's so good. a couple tomatoes to have with my chickpea of the sea, romaine hearts to either make salad or to make like lettuce boats and have my chickpea of the sea in that. That is like what I'm really looking forward to. And then cauliflower. I felt like I hadn't had cauliflower in a while, and I love to roast this in the oven and have it with that queso that I'm going to make. And then I had to pick up some hearts of palm for my chickpea of the sea. And I get these at Kroger. They are a little bit cheaper to get the can at Meijer, but these jars are really nice to reuse. So sometimes I pay a little bit more to get them at Kroger, but then I get to reuse the jars. So step one, I'm gonna mix up the potato cheese I already have made with my frozen hash browns and get my hash brown casserole in the oven. Then I'm gonna peel my potatoes and get my potatoes and baby cut carrots in my Instant Pot to go for my next batch of potato cheese. Then I'm gonna get to work chopping all my vegetables and set aside some to make the chickpea of the sea, some that are gonna go in the stir fry, and then the other ones that are gonna go in the salad. Then I'll need to cook the stir-fry vegetables. That usually only takes like 7 minutes. And then I just need to blend up my chickpea of the sea and my Ninja. And at some point I'll have to get out my immersion blender to make the stuff in the Instant Pot into potato cheese. So that's it. That's my plan today. Like I said, I still have got those Thanksgiving leftovers to eat. So not a lot of starch today, but a lot of vegetable. I had a lot of fun shopping for vegetables this morning. I felt so healthy with my cart just full of vegetables. So my oven is already preheated. I'm gonna mix together that cheesy hash brown casserole and get that going. It's exactly 1:30, so let's hope to get this meal prep done. Definitely less than 2 hours, but maybe an hour and a half today. Maybe. Normally when I make this recipe, I make a fresh batch of potato cheese and pour that on top of the frozen hash browns. And since the cheese is still hot, it's super easy to mix up. Never had any trouble mixing it in the pan before. But today was quite a bit more difficult with the hard, cold potato cheese and the frozen hash browns. I'm already seeing a spot over here where it didn't get mixed good, but I spent like 10 minutes mixing this up, so I'm just gonna get this in the oven now. So I'll cook this at 375 for about 40 minutes, and the next thing I'm going to do is peel my potatoes to make my batch of potato cheese in my Instant Pot. I'm not gonna do nearly as many potatoes as I usually do, so be right back with those. Okay, I came up with a slight change of plan, but I think this is gonna save a lot of time. I mentioned I had all these potatoes that I just steamed in the Instant Pot yesterday. This is at least 5 or 6 russet potatoes. So what I think I'm gonna do is just pressure cook these carrots, and when these are done, add these potatoes into the Instant Pot and make my potato cheese that way. Why peel more potatoes today when I already have the potatoes I peeled yesterday ready to go? And this might be kind of a lot of carrots for that amount of potatoes, but I have never had a batch of potato cheese taste like carrots, no matter how many carrots I put in it. I've had some of them look a little orange, but, so that's what I'm gonna do right now. Drain this water out of these, get some fresh water, and get the carrots going in the Instant Pot. Update time. Cheesy hash brown casserole timer's going off. I just got done prepping all of the stir fry veg. Oh, I need to put some water in that before I cover it. So I'm gonna put these stir fry veggies on for 7 minutes on high. And I'm gonna grab the cheesy hash brown casserole. It smells so good. Turn the oven off. I didn't put asparagus in the stir fry. I guess it wasn't meant to be. So next I need to blend up my chickpea of the sea and the Ninja. I think I'm gonna leave the broccoli and kale residue in there. It won't hurt it. And then a few more things to chop. I wanted to pre-chop that cauliflower and broccoli. Get that fresh batch of asparagus I bought today into some water. And then blend up the potato cheese. I think that's it. Let me do a time check. It's only 2:25. It hasn't even been an hour, so I think I can be done in 30-35 minutes. All done. So this meal prep ended up taking me 1 hour and 45 minutes, and I accomplished everything I wanted to, except I did not chop up the extra broccoli I had because I ended up putting the cauliflower in my broccoli container, and I didn't take care of the new celery I got today yet, like chop that up and put it in a jar with some water. So I still have to do those things. I haven't made my queso yet either. I'll show you when I get to my potato cheese in just a second. So what I do have here, my new bunch of asparagus, I did get that in some water. And then I have this whole container of kale left over. So either gonna use that for kale salads or to make another stir fry in a few days. In here I saved the aquafaba from my chickpeas that were in my chickpea of the sea sandwich mix. I don't have a specific plan for this, but I don't know, something told me to save it, so I feel like I'm gonna come up with something in the next couple days. Maybe even using this to make a breading stick to the cauliflower and something along those lines. I'll keep you posted. This is that whole head of cauliflower. Like I mentioned, I usually use this container to store my broccoli, so I'll probably be eating that cauliflower pretty soon because I need my broccoli container back. I have all these extra veggies to make salads with, and as soon as I find the thing that goes in there, I'll put some diced onion in there too to have on hand. These containers are both the chickpea of the sea sandwich filling. So to start, I'm gonna eat those with the romaine lettuce boats, but maybe I'll pick up some pita pockets or something in a couple days to eat with it as well. This container is all of the stir fry vegetables that I made. And then the cheesy hash brown casserole, probably one of the biggest batches I've ever made. Last but not least, my potato cheese. I think it turned out pretty darn good. So like I said, I'll probably turn at least half of that into a queso to have as a cheesy topping for my vegetables. But I did find a small problem with the salsa that I bought at the store. I really do prefer to make my own salsa. I think I'm really good at it. I mean, for my taste buds. But when I do get a store-bought salsa, I like this Garden Fresh brand, and this Jack's Special Salsa has been like, my family's been buying this forever. And I never questioned the ingredients, just like trusted this salsa. And then when I actually go and read all the ingredients, the very last ingredient there is lime oil. So I'm not quite sure what to think about that yet. Like, should I not be eating this salsa because of the oil in it? But then I'm like, it's lime oil. It's not like it's soybean oil or olive oil or something. And it's the last ingredient, so I don't know. That's why it's just better to make your own, I guess. Hey, I didn't know this company was out of Ferndale, Michigan. Cool. Well, see, that makes me want to support them. So tell me in the comments, would you eat this salsa, or what is your opinion on that lime oil situation? Because I just don't know what to think. So that's all for my meal prep today. Thank you for stopping by to watch this video. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in my next one. Be well. Ends might, I always, and then when was out looking for Brack. Oh, Elisha. Else was out looking for black. Did I say anything coherent yet? I make a fresh batch of it. I need a hair tie. I'm almost done, Penny. I'm almost done. You want to come say hi? She said, no, I don't want to come say hi. Nothing to say. Celery I got. Ted, get off the table. Ted, you are not allowed on the table when there is this much food on it. What do you think you're doing? What do you think you're doing? Ted, Ted, get down, get down, get down. Here, jump to this chair, fool. What was I saying? Ted, you completely made me lose my train of thought. Do I just start over? Where did I put that salsa? Salsa. Where did I put the salsa? Salsa. Oh, there it is. Where was I at with that? Yes, Penelope. I think we like this hairdo. I think we need to redo some color though.